Inferno, Canto 30. In the same gulf are punished impostors of various kinds, coiners and counterfeiters, who are afflicted with horrible diseases, fevers and dropsies, Gianni Shichi, Myra, Sinon, and Adamo, between whom take place a most comical dialogue. What time, incensed against the Theban maid, Juno poured out her wrath upon the land, that wrath the goddess more than once displayed. So lost to reason Athamas became, that when he saw his wife in either hand, bearing a child, he furious did exclaim, Extend the nets, that at a pass I may enclose the lioness and both her young. Then stretching forth his talons to the prey, he seized Lurchus, and against a stone, insensate dashed him, while the mother sprung deep into ocean with her other son. Or when by fortune humbled in the dust, Troy, once all daring, was in ruin laid, and with his life his kingdom Priam lost, the wretched Hecuba, sad captive queen, when she Polyxena a corpse surveyed, and on the margin of the deep had seen her Polydorus mournful interview. In frenzy barked in like a dog, so great the power of grief her reason to subdue, but never furies, when Caesar they came, Trojan or Theban, with such rancorous hate, tormented beasts, much less the human frame, as two pale naked spirits that I saw, who like a hog excluded from the sty, came running furiously with open jaw. One seized Capocchio's neck and rent him sore, with fang infixed. Then as he drew him by, grated his belly o'er the rocky floor. The Aretine, all trembling with alarm, said, Gianni Schicchi is the one you seek, who roves infuriate, working others harm. Oh, I exclaimed, may ne'er the other sprite tear with his fangs thy back, as thou to me tell who it is, ere hurried from our sight. Then answered he, No Miria is her name, that wicked one who cherished in her breast, for her own father an unhallowed flame, her sinful purpose that she might attain, in borrowed robes fictitiously she dressed, like him that goeth yonder, who to gain the choicest of the herd dared represent Buoso Donati, and upon him took to sign and seal a forged testament. Then when his furious pair had onward passed, whom I had scanned with such an eager look, towards other tortured souls mine eyes I cast. One I beheld, who like a lute was made, had but the groin been amputated there, where in the human form the forks displayed. The dropsy which an ill-assorted grace gives to the body, making it appear most strangely disproportioned to the face, compelled him both his lips to open wide, e'en as hectic lifts one lip on high, and lets the other parched with thirst subside. O ye, who free from punishment are here in this unhappy world, I know not why, he said to us, behold and lend your ear. To Master Adam's miserable strain, what I desired on earth I compassed all. One drop of water now I crave in vain, the rivulets which from the verdant hills of Casentino into Arno fall, cooling the channels with their limpid rills, seem always in my sight, nor idly so. For their fond image more dries up my skin than all the torture which my features show. Stern justice, racking me with inward throes, and from the very region of my sin, occasion takes to aggravate my woes. There is Ramina, where of old I learnt to forge the coin that bore the Baptist's head, for which offense my earthly frame was burnt. But could the sight of Guido bless my soul, or Alexander or their brother sad, I'd change it not for Branda's fountain cool. One here below I might already view, if the mad souls around us speak the truth, but futtered thus, alas, what can I do? Were I so light that in a century I could advance a single inch forsooth, already on my journey should I be, in search of him among this people's vile. Although 11 miles this vale is spread, nor less in width extends than half a mile, to them I owe this cursed society. By them to stamp the florins was I led, mixed with 3 carats of alloy. Thus he and I rejoined, Who are that wretched pair that on the right lie smoking, like a hand in water steeped, and then exposed in air. Since first I found them here, was his reply, when down I fell to this ill-fated strand, they ne'er have turned, nor will, I think, for aye. One the false dame who Joseph dared accuse, Sinon the other, the false Greek from Troy, their burning fever doth this stream diffuse, and one of them, who at this title rude experienced haply somewhat of annoy, struck with his fist the other's stomach crude, that sounded like a drum. With arm upreared, Adam returned the blow upon his face, which no less hard than his own paunch appeared, exclaiming, "Ha! Although I am debarred by these unwieldy limbs from change of place, still I've an arm for my defense prepared." "Not quite so ready was it," he rejoined, "when to the flames they bore you tightly bound, though still more ready was it when you coined. He with the dropsy, now your speech is true, but not so true a witness were you found, when of the truth at Troy they questioned you." "If I spake false, you falsely coined," replied Sinon, "and here for but one fault am I, while you for more than any fiend beside remember perjured one, the horse at Troy. Answer the spirit of the stomach high, that thou art guilty knows each puny boy. Proof of thy guilt thy gaping mouth supplies," the Greek retorted, "reared by the tumid paunch before thine eyes. The coiner then, so runs your tongue, the same to utter evil as 'twas ever wont, and if I thirst and moisture swells my frame, you are burnt up and pains torment your head, and to lap up Narcissus' looking-glass, no pressing invitation would you need. Listening I stood, intent with all my mind, when cried the master, 'Now beware! Alas, to quarrel with thee am I much inclined.' When I perceived the wrath in which he spake, I turned me to him with such sense of shame as will not even now my thoughts forsake, and like to one who dreams of miseries, which as he dreams he hopes may prove a dream, and longs for that which all the time is he. So I, to whom my tongue its refused, in the wish to palliate what I'd done, had unawares my own offense excused. My master said, 'Lest shame would wash away a far more heinous fault than thine, my son. Then let no sorrow on thy spirits prey. Consider I am always at thy side. If e'er again thou happen to be placed where in like strife each other men deride, the wish to hear them shows a vulgar taste.'"